Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And one of the things that I think that Derek Carr has really improved in doing since college, his ability to stay in the pocket, things swirling around him, find the right guy, and deliver the ball with accuracy. Derek Carr has great touch when he throws the football.
Here's the first carry for Troy Cohen. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, he finds Henderson complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson.
Still 2nd down.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
I'm looking at Jabril Peppers in the secondary, the 25th pick in the 1st round in 2017. Played in 13 games, 57 tackles and an interception. But what I like most about him, his versatility. He can play cornerback, but I think he's best at safety. And a little bit of what they call nickel or dime linebacker, where he can go inside and use his tackling ability in the running game.
Get down.
On play action, now Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the 1st quarter.
Too many runs in this play. 1st quarter, 1st drive, 1st interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And the Browns getting set to go. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. scrimmage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Now let's go.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Let's go, defense. Get on the field.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be caught from Rams. Touchdown. A big play there. 47 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Lutz now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They run with Harris. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, it's Cohen. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Throwing on first down is Carr. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Carr. And that is incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Mayfield. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Set, 3-19.
And the pitch goes to Mixon. And he's got room. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Busting free at the 10. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
And there was absolutely 0 pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 10-zip our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. This is Cohen. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now Cohen, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr, and this is going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And some room to maneuver. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. A big play that time for Cleveland. 41 yards on the ground. And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurdle them the other way, getting past that first wave.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a handoff looking right. And some room to roam now. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack, because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The best thing that ever happened to Mario Edwards Jr., in my estimation, was moving from defensive end into defensive tackle.
Why is that?
I think he had such good size, but his quickness now is overwhelming when he works inside against guards and centers. And that allows him to make plays as one we just saw.
Mixon hit, and all the ball is out, and the Raiders pick it up. Oh, and now he bolts a big seam, and he might go all the way. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. And great effort. Does he get burned for that in film? He fought through some tackles. End result, though, a fumble.
It's going to be one of those situations where he'll get yelled at about the fumble, but at the same time get a check mark for the extra effort. And so it's one of those tough, tricky things for coaches. You don't want to coach it out of them so much that you take away the effort. You just want them to be conscious of taking care of the football.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field.
They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Carr to throw on second down. It's Kelsey on the ground. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's had it working pretty well here in this first half up until that last drive when he put it on the turf, Charles.
So I don't think they want to overreact to that fumble because now you've got a guy that's played so well. You don't want to take him and limit his effectiveness by worrying about it too much. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw him next week at meetings. He'd have a football with him at all times.
Room here to run. He finds an opening past the 40 and finally brought down at the 43. A gain of 32 that time.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up on Levante David. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So out come the Raiders. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's helped us.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time. Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, and that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. Fighting his way through contact. To the right side, complete to Taylor. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week one, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. On first down, Carr. Caught, Kelsey, left side. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now, Carr again. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Again, it's Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. In for the score. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point try good by Gano, and we are even at 10 apiece. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield off the play fake. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. The Browns trying to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. A first down throw from Mayfield. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. First down, Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Mayfield again. He's going to loft one deep, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Browns have moved out in front. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start in the NFC, a division matchup pitting New Orleans against Atlanta. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And you can see they are out in front in that one. The Dolphins trying to start the season right, and is looking good so far at home. Finally, let's take the trip across the Atlantic, see what's happening over in London. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. The Black Knights playing well in their opener, trying to send their sellout crowd home happy. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And some room to work. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for the Browns. 49 yards. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like it.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Mayfield to throw it this time. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Levante David in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
And the interception earlier, now a sack. Well, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
23 yards on the play.
Now let's go.
They'll give it to Mixon. Bust through the tackle. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
All right, here we go.
Here's Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Gun!
And the blitz does come. And this is caught. Cleveland. In for the score. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Wiggles free, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They try again with Cohen, and that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Over the middle, complete. It's Cohen. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
He finds Taylor, complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. This is Harris. Fights off the defender. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. Taking it in from the 20. And the Raiders are back within a score.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, Yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Gano now to add the extra point. Gano the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 24-17. Gano out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Stays on his feet. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. From the gun, Mayfield. And the Raiders have got him. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there on 3rd down for the Browns. 42 yards.
Here we go now.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Browns add on to their lead. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is one that you don't spike, right? This is one you don't throw to your teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over to the equipment staff, and have them mark it up, put it away, and then you get it later on, and as you said, mount it in your trophy case. Fantastic. Hopefully the first of many.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Lutz now to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Carr to throw. That one taken in by Carlos Henderson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now a play fake. Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Emmanuel Agba, he's the one to get in this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Taking it about the 36. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it winds us down to the end of the 3rd quarter.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Now let's go.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Lutz puts this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's into the clear. The 40, 20, 10, touchdown. A great effort there with a return of 102 yards. And the Raiders get a score closer. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
They go for just one here as it's up and good, and that will shave one more off this lead. So he takes it from 2 yards deep all the way down the field into the other end zone. Add it all up, 102-yard return on the kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or two.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Here we go.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 8 there on the 1st down play. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 8 yards here, so that gets him back within striking distance. And now it's 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Mayfield now. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. From the red zone now, Mayfield. And this is caught at the 8. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
All right, here we go.
And again, it's Mayfield. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
All right, here we go.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 13 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
He's going to get it running right. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw, Mayfield. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Duke Dawson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And now here come the Raiders. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Emmanuel Agba in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Now, we're waiting.
From the gun, it's Carr. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They give them a gain of 37.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Now, we're waiting.
Carr now on 1st down. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Carr to throw again. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On first down, Carr got his man complete over the middle. It's Henderson, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Back to throw. Carr. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now Carr. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? They find some open field here, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Here we go.
Again, it's Mixon. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Able to get away. Steps away to his left. He's got his tight end in Njoku. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big game there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
It's in the 4th quarter down in Miami, and it's the Dolphins that wound up winning that one. Ryan Tannehill, 2 touchdown passes in the W.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Cleveland, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.